Does Patrick Reed deserve more respect? Rory McIlroy wants the Open to go back to Muirfield. Do we agree? And divots. Should you get through relief or not? All of that coming up on this week's episode of the Bunkered Podcast. Hello. Thank you very much for tuning in. I am Michael McEwen. Appreciate your time. It is January the 26th, 2026, and did you know it's the 100th anniversary today of the invention of the TV? Just like golf, another great thing that us Scots have given to the world. What else have we got? Telephone. We've Tarmacadam, I think that's another one.
Iron Brew. Thank you, James.
Digestive biscuits.
No, we didn't, did we?
We did. Yeah.
Oh, McVitie's. Yes, thank you, Lewis. And of course, we discovered penicillin. Basically, all of which is to say, us Scots, we're good. So, yes, great day, a very historic day. Right, let's get into this week's episode. Let's bring them on board. Performance editor of Bunkered, Lewis Fraser, and a very jet-lagged, weary, but nonetheless here, gear editor James Tate. Gentlemen, hello, how are you doing?
Good, thanks, Michael. How are you?
Good, thanks.
I'm good. How are you, James?
Yeah, we're hanging in there. We're hanging in there, dragging ourselves along. Yeah, no, good. Obviously, PGA Show in Orlando, very busy week, but saw some pretty cool stuff. And if you were following along on our social channels, you would have seen some pretty interesting and fun kind of items along the way.
There was tons of great stuff. I loved what you put on Insta, that dancing robot. Now, I have to ask, first of all, one, what does a dancing robot have to do with the PGA Show? Is there any reason why it was there? And two, why did it look like it had borrowed all of Justin Rose's moves?
I know.
I thought you were going to say clothes.
The way it was dancing is kind of how I would have thought Justin Rose might have danced in the Ryder Cup team room after the win. I just looked at it and I thought, well, that's based on Justin Rose.
Donald Trump. Kind of number going
Does
on.
that answer the first part of your question then? Is that the relation to
So
golf?
what's the point of it? Why is it?
It was literally just kind of showing off, like, I can't remember the exact name of the brand that was there, but they had loads of electronics going on. I think they're just basically showing you what they were capable of doing. And I was just walking down the side of the PGA Show, and as you do when you're passing some of these random kind of stands, out of nowhere just appeared this dancing robot, and I was like, that's cool, I'll take a picture of that and send that back.
Tremendous moves.
Yeah.
Speaking as somebody who dances like a box, I was really impressed by it. So I never thought I'd be jealous of a robot, but here I am.
Yeah, no, it was impressive how fluid it was. It wasn't like that kind of like static in terms of moving. It was quite smooth with its moves, shall we say?
Yeah.
Especially for a robot. But yeah, there was that. There was also repurposed bullseye putters, which I showed you.
You did. These are crazy.
But they had basically recycled bullet shell casings filled with tungsten. So the idea, if you've ever had a bullseye putter, you'll know when you hold it, the toe is just down straight away. So what this guy had done was he got these old bullet casings, just like randomly picked some of them up, which were lying on the ground on a walk, as you do because it's America and there's just bullet casings lying around everywhere. And he was like, oh, I've got an idea for that. And he basically put a little screw in the back of the bullet casing, filled it up with tungsten, and put maybe, it varies depending on what one you go for, but put 4 kind of over the back, and then just filled it with tungsten, made it face balanced instead. And I tell you what, I had a hit with it. Feels great.
So that's why they've done that. It's just to face balance the putt.
Yeah,
that's really clever.
It's purely, I mean, the bullet casings that obviously look like bullets as well, purely just for show. But the actual kind of design behind it and the weighting is just there to give it that face balance kind of finish. But a bullseye putter feels great as it is. They've just repurposed it, made it nice and kind of shiny. Yeah, and just got bullets hanging off the back of your putter.
Yeah, as you do. Lewis, I can't imagine you've ever used a putter that's had bullet cases.
Not knowingly, anyway. I've played at some rough places in my time, but not anywhere I've been shot at, I don't think so.
How was your weekend, sir?
Yeah, it was all right. I've been inundated with Instagram messages about last week's
Coach
episode.
Lee.
Yeah, well, partly that. The first one, which is kind of an insight into the messages that I get on Instagram, the first one was from Fraser Grant, who said, did you/Michael forget that Trevor Immelman won the Masters in the 2000s? The answer to that is yes. Not so much forget, but misread the Wikipedia page when I was doing the quiz.
There you go.
So that's on me, unfortunately.
I forgot nothing.
Yeah, no, definitely not. So we're all patting ourselves.
I would have got
back
that
with
one.
That quiz. Yeah, James would have got that one. That is the kind of thing that you would have got.
Sorry,
but,
Trev.
yeah, so yeah, no, I like Trevor Immelman as well. We just glossed over that. But yeah, no, things are good. Went to the range on Saturday morning to try and ingrain some of the new feelings.
How are the ribs?
So ribs are fine. And you know how it is when you're at a golf lesson and your coach is there and you're like hitting, you thinking, this is it, I'm like going pro, this is unbelievable, like how good I'm hitting it. He's standing there like, yeah, amazing. And then you go away and try and do it yourself, and it's as if you've never played the sport before in your life. So there's a bit of that going on Saturday morning at golf in Glasgow.
That's tough.
It was tough, so there's work to be done.
Yeah, you had a pretty rough week actually last week, Lewis, after the podcast, because obviously you shared with us the work that you're doing to try and it's Project Scratch, I think really is what we're calling this now.
Yeah.
And you went onto social media again to document this. For listeners of At the Bunkered Pod who may be interested in what Coach Lee has me working on, wrote Lewis with a nice little video. Ball position more central, hands to exit low and left, pushing off the ground better, hence the foam under my foot. You say yes, alignment sticks were harmed in the making of this.
They were.
Yeah, it looks. You know what? It looks good.
Thanks.
No notes.
Let's see the
Apart from this, I replied to you saying, "Hey, at Grok, how far did this ball travel? I'm thinking 80, maybe 90 yards at the most."
Yeah.
Grok, which is of course Elon Musk's version of ChatGPT integrated into X. Grok replied, James.
Did he? What did Grok have to say?
From the video, that swing looks like it chunked the ground a bit. Ball probably didn't get much air. I'd estimate 60 to 80 yards max, depending on the club and conditions. And then it gets really condescending.
Yeah.
Solid effort on the drills, though. Keep at it.
Thanks,
Amazing.
Grok.
Wow.
So
Sick of this, man.
you genuinely couldn't have had Grok dragging you all over social media on your bingo card for last week.
No, I really didn't. I did not appreciate that one bit, and it's also not true, but I'm not going to get into an argument with this computer.
You can't argue with the facts. And I don't know if you're aware, but AI and like ChatGPT, they only deal in facts.
That's true. AI has never got anything
Never
wrong,
got
ever,
anything else.
famously, especially Grok. That's not done anything wrong recently.
No,
So,
it has not.
no. So yeah, no, I'll take it. It's fine, but I don't think it's been condescending. I don't know if Grok has that in it to be like sarcastic and
You
look
say
down
that,
on you.
but that's
Yeah.
like the next step. And then before you
maybe.
know it, it's full on Skynet,
Maybe I should.
Terminator 2, and we're all doomed.
I should.
You are the John Connor of the Bunker podcast at this point.
I shouldn't be saying this. My laptop's open. They'll be listening to me right now. So
Without shadow of a doubt.
yeah,
You know what you need to do next time, though, is you need to show the data.
nah, I don't want to do that because it'll
You
prove
should-
Grok right.
There you go.
So it was a chunk. 60 yards.
Yeah.
Keep at it, Lewis, as
Amazing.
Grok said.
Yes,
so
I will
let's,
do.
Let's get into the big talking points of this week. And we're going to start with Patrick Reed, who won the Dubai Desert Classic. Pretty commanding performance from P. Reed over the few days there in the Middle East. Deserved winner. I mean, I think four shots clear. He started the final round and never really looked like giving it up. I guess the question I have for you both, I'll come to you first, James. Patrick Reed has a reputation. There's a lot of baggage. We all know the baggage by this point, but he's a hell of a golfer. And my question is, has the time arrived for him to get a bit more respect than he's currently getting? What do you reckon?
Yeah, I do, 100%. I think what Patrick Reed's done since kind of getting that honorary kind of DP World Tour membership is he's always been quite a good example of someone from the States that's come across and supported the DP World Tour by playing in it, which I've always really liked. And I think, like there's always an incident where he was moving sand behind the ball and stuff like that. And people would have classed him as a bit of a cheat, but
many people did.
Which probably at the time probably deserved it. But I think if you kind of look past that now and look what he's kind of done and how he has supported the DP World Tour with the amount of times that he's played, I think we need to get off his back a little bit now. And I think he is an incredible player that basically deserves all the respect is deserved, especially with that win out in Dubai.
What do you think, Lewis? Has he earned your respect? Because you're I think, as well as being one of the shorter hitters in golf, you're also one of the sort of standard bearers for playing golf the right way, etiquette, following the rules. You're a stickler, and rightly so, for the rules.
I am.
So I might be wrong here, doing you a disservice, but I suspect that your impression of Patrick Reed probably wasn't the highest. But has that changed, if that's the case?
I'm a big fan of his golf and his game, but like you say, James is saying, like, we should be looking past these things from his past. That's a difficult thing to do. Like, you read, as you allude to, stories in like Shane Ryan's book about Patrick, which go back to college, and he's refuted them. So, you know, that's...
So all the allegations and the remainder of them, all alleged.
All allegations, exactly. But if they are true, then it's difficult to look past things about stealing things from college teammates. And then, as James mentioned, stuff at the Hero World Challenge where he's been penalised, and it's not a great look. So that's tough. I think golf benefits from having like villains to an extent, where people watch and kind of root against people. It doesn't really have like that many characters that are like that. Like, people might not be massive Scottish Scheffler fans, but not many people actively root against him. Whereas Patrick Reed was probably in that category for a lot of people. So I think it's good for the game, and that someone like that, who's probably quite a divisive figure, does so well and has done well for a long time now. But I wouldn't say I'm a big fan of his golf, put it that way.
You like the way he plays golf?
Yeah, I do like the way he plays
golf. You don't like Patrick Reed, the golfer?
Yeah, that's probably a fair point. But what I would say, like, on his golf, he's not the longest hitter in the game, but
so he's relatable.
Yes, relatable in that sense, yeah. Sticks to playing... I think he's kind of admitted it's fairly one-dimensional, like hits a draw into most holes, and he doesn't try and change that for anyone. He's never tried to really change his approach to the game, and it's really paid off for him. He's picked up so many wins around the world. He's won the Masters. His record at the Masters is unbelievable, by the way. Like, if you look at it, I think he's had like 5 or 6 top 10s in the last however many years since he's won. So big respect for him in that front, but it's hard to see past some of the stuff that's been reported.
Not letting bygones be bygones.
Not in this case, no.
Is there ever a point at which you can with something like that? I mean, they say time's a great healer. Is it a case that there's just not been enough time yet for Patrick?
It's tough. James said, like, the C word, not that C word, but one of the C.
A worse C word.
Yeah, a worse C word in golf, yeah. And if that's true, and he's like knowingly done that and tried to be deceptive, then no, I don't think time can be a healer in golf for that.
You can't ever rehabilitate yourself and your image if you've done it once.
Not if you're not...
I think that's the point, is that there's multiple allegations, and then you've got the stuff with the college teammates. That's not cheating, that was stealing.
Yes,
the allegations go. So, yeah, there's... It's one of those, isn't it, where there's smoke, there's fire.
Yeah, I think it's... And the fact that it is... We're talking about it as being allegations, but the reason that it's allegations is that Patrick says it's not true. And that could be the case. We just don't know that, but he's not admitted to anything. So it'd almost be easier if there was like a process where he said, okay, I did and I've made mistakes. But
James, do you think he gets a raw deal?
Don't know if raw. He definitely gets it a little bit hard from other areas. I don't think raw deal necessarily, but I would say he almost brings it on himself without bringing it on himself a little bit. Like, if you can look at his past, and it's very hard to shift certain things which he's done. And once you get that label of, as Lewis said, the C word, and I've called him a cheat, it's hard in golf, especially. It's hard to shift that. It was a long time ago, and I think his golf does a lot of the talking nowadays to kind of showcase that, like, okay, yes, he's made a mistake. He's done something which he turned around and said, I didn't actually really know what I was doing. You definitely knew what you were doing.
There's this sand into the bounce.
Yeah. And I think when you look at that, it's kind of like, it's a shame because he is such a good golfer. And I think his golf, just because of how good he is, sometimes that past kind of overshadows how good he actually is. So yeah.
I mean, I think obviously what's happened in the past, you're right. It's difficult to shake that. It's difficult to move on from, so on and so forth. There's kind of two ways of looking at it as well, isn't there? It's like if you can separate them, and whether you can or can't, it's up to you. I'm not about to try and, advocate on his behalf because I'm kind of ambivalent about Patrick Reed. I don't have any skin in the game. I don't think, he's not my favourite golfer to watch. Equally, I don't actively root against him. I am as ambivalent about Patrick Reed as I think you can get. But if people can separate the two and you focus on the way he plays the game, he's aggressive, he's a great shot maker. When he gets hot, he makes a ton of birdies. I mean, you're talking about his Masters record. Well, he backdoored it last year because of that incredible run he made deep into the back nine on Sunday.
Yeah.
I think he's a force of nature. He's a bit of a pit bull. He's Paul McGinley would call him a street fighter. I don't really know what that means, to be honest.
Yeah.
But he is that kind of guy. He's aggressive in terms of the way he plays, and I think his attitude is, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to stamp all over people. But the other side of it is that, Bob McIntyre raves about him. He was very, very good to Bob, by all accounts, when he turned professional, gave him a lot of advice, took him out to play practice rounds and whatnot. And it's not just Bob who's benefited from that. I'll be honest, there's a lot of people in the media who we're close to that love him because he's so accommodating and he gives good answers and always gives his time. So, look, I'm not going to say he deserves more respect, but I think there's more to Patrick Reed than meets the eye. A lot of people have just made up their own mind. He's X, Y, or Z. But I think he's a more complex figure than that.
Yeah, I kind of feel like there's a lot of respect you can give him for what he's achieved and done in golf. But then the stuff he's done, which has obviously made
other stuff he's done in golf
has made headlines, kind of outweighs, unfortunately, what he has achieved in a way. Do you know what I mean? Yeah,
I'll give him this. We and routinely we have criticised Americans for not travelling enough and not, just sticking to the PGA Tour. He has travelled the world. He's gone to every corner of the globe in search of titles and money and ranking points. And I think that's his enormous credit. That's why I bristled a little yesterday when a clip was shared on social media of Laura Davis, who I've got a ton of respect for, by the way. I mean, I think obviously her playing record speaks for itself, but I think she gets far, far too much and quite vicious criticism. Some of it replying to this post I put out, which just, it made me wish I hadn't posted it. But when she's saying, you don't see much of him now, or, he doesn't play all that much. That's nonsense.
No.
He's played
everywhere.
33 times since the beginning of 2025. Yeah. He's played 20 times in that time on the DP World Tour and the Asian Tour. Where he hasn't played as a PGA Tour, he's played 14 odd times, 15 times in Live.
Yep.
The guy plays a hell of a lot, so to say he doesn't play all that much is just totally wrong.
That number of events on the DP World Tour and the Asian Tour would be like a normal series or a normal season in itself, never mind playing the events on Live Golf as well. So
I think he deserves
massive
a bit more credit for that.
Absolutely, yeah.
We're talking about the form he's in. I mean, the obvious question is, well, can he sustain that form all the way through to Augusta, where he's won previously? His only major win to date came at Augusta in 2018. Could he add a second green jacket if he sustains this form? Is he going to be a real contender in the major championships this year?
He could be, yeah. Like I was saying, he's had 4 top 10s his last 6 starts at Augusta National, which is incredible. And it's the kind of golf course where if you play well there once or twice, then you're probably going to keep playing well there for a long time.
Yeah,
it's a big ask to go and win a second one. I think when he did win, it was an outlier in like short game week for him, where hold a lot of putts and kind of got up and down all the time. So,
and the short game's incredible right now. He's worked really hard at that.
When the short game is on, he is one of the best chippers of the ball in the world. So yeah, he could, but Scotty Scheffler's really good as well.
Yeah,
he won last night.
Quite good.
I would be surprised if Reed won a second one, but
what do you think, James?
Wouldn't be surprised if he was up contending.
If he plays anything like what he did, obviously this past week in Dubai, there's every chance. I think
that was some field in Dubai.
Yeah, it was a very strong field. I mean, obviously, likes of Rory McIlroy and Tyrrell, they just fell away. Even Lowry, none of them did anything that special. And those are probably some of the strongest guys in that field. For him to kind of come out on top in such a commanding way, not take his foot off the gas, like you said, pitbull mentality, and especially the way he handled himself on 18. I don't know if you noticed that. It's the first time I've seen someone step up on the 18th and take an iron and play it like a proper 3-shot.
I was going to say, he took his foot off the gas there.
I know.
5 iron off the tee. It's like 600
Sensible
yards
approach,
long.
though.
Yeah, like it.
Yeah, like very switched on. If he can do that and keep that kind of mental approach, I think going into one of the majors, there's every chance that he will be thereabouts.
Mm-hmm.
Whether he'll win, though, I don't see it. I don't know if he's going to be streaky enough at Augusta to do it. I mean, we saw him obviously last year kind of have that back nine kind of little stretch, but a little bit too late.
Yeah, I mean, his
So,
record,
it'll be interesting.
You've alluded to his record a few times, so just for the benefit of listeners and viewers, since 2020, he's gone tied 10th, tied 8th, tied 35th, tied 4th, tied 12th, and 3rd. So, and that's to say nothing, obviously, of his win in 2018 Augusta, and he clearly get on very, very well. I mean, it's a mug's game trying to predict major champions.
But you've said that Rory McIlroy is going to win the Masters.
Yeah, that's
So
my mug.
that means that.
So,
That means-
I will say this. If you are somebody who likes to gamble, and I'm not, but I know some people do, if so, always gamble responsibly, then you would be an absolute half-wit not to have Patrick Reed each way for the Masters.
Yeah, I completely
You absolutely should.
Especially when they're paying out like 8 places or whatever it is.
Well, yeah. One more thing on Reed before we move on. He revealed after the win in his press conference yesterday, dropped a bit of a bombshell when he said he's yet to sign his live contract for this year. Someone asked him if he was a free agent. He says, yes, at the moment. By all accounts, and this is where it feels slightly like there's conflicting information coming out, because some people seem to be of the opinion that actually, no, Patrick Reed is under contract. Some people I spoke to yesterday were insistent after this news came out that he is under contract.
Right.
The man himself says he is not. What do we make of that? Is this a case that in fact he's not under contract, or is he, like I presume many players on live, looking at what's happened with Brooks Koepka, and they're just trying to position themselves for negotiating to give themselves the strongest place to start?
I kind of think that's exactly what it is. I think he's seen what Brooks and a couple of the other lads have done, and I think he's now just like, maybe we just kind of like sit down and talk about it. And especially with a win on the DP World Tour as well, it's like, is he thinking, well, maybe I can go that route, qualify, get my PGA Tour card, and then get my status back on the PGA Tour? If he's going to put in performances like that on the DP World Tour, then he's an absolute shoo-in, isn't he? So I reckon
there's absolutely no indication, though, that the returning member program would be extended to accommodate him.
James means like the top 10 finishes
Yeah,
in
top
DP
10
World
shit.
Tour.
He
If
would
he
still
was
be
to,
suspended, though.
at some
So you would have
point, I don't
so
know.
whether
Which-
whenever he wants to get back to the PGA Tour,
Mhm.
he's going to have to
Stop
serve
playing
some
live
sort
right
of-
now.
yeah.
He's going to have to. There's
that's-
going to be some penalty for it.
So that's why I think he's probably said that, because if he's not going to play live, then he might just try and play DP World Tour and see what the kind of repercussions might be, or the suspension.
His comments were really interesting. We're still
it's
finalising
interesting.
the contract. We're not complete on that yet for this year. I haven't talked to the team back home or anything like that. He means Justine.
Yeah.
Was it?
yeah.
But at the moment, I plan on teeing it up there in Riyadh, the first live event of the season, and I'd be surprised if we're not. When asked about potential alternative plans, he said, continue to play out here and be in the top 10 and be in the PGA Tour next year, like you say, trying to grab one of those PGA Tour cards. It was just so from left field, because we got into last week thinking that the live rosters were set for this year, and now there's this little spanner in the works.
Yeah.
Lewis, what do you think? Do you expect to see Patrick Reed on live this season?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, he was doing like the promo stuff like last week or the week before for them. Like he was walking with all his 4 Aces gear on. So yeah, he's going to be playing Live Golf Riyadh. Surely that's next week, isn't it?
It is,
I would be dumbfounded if he wasn't there playing it. I think
so
it's
why say this? What's he doing? Is he working an angle?
I think so. Yeah, I think like James has said, it's a case of he's probably just being honest and said like he's got every intention of probably signing this contract, and he's maybe just said this to say, look, I've not actually signed it yet, and I am technically still a free agent, and he's probably thinking that the bosses are going to be panicking a bit and phone him up.
Especially after he wins in the
well, hot
That'll-
topic. People are talking about him as we are.
Probably
So
trying to get more money, to be honest.
yeah,
this week.
realistically, and good luck to him.
Yeah.
I don't blame him one bit for trying to do that. So yeah, I'd be amazed if he wasn't playing Live this year. But
Okay.
who knows?
What
The way that golf
Yeah,
goes,
what
probably
a
by
strange
the time you're listening to this, he might not have been. You might have said that he's going back and doing whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
Let's move on. Let's not debate that anymore. Let's talk about Rory and his comments on Muirfield. Rory, by the way, not a great week last week for Mr. McIlroy in Dubai, a place he's had great success over the years. I think that was his worst finish in Dubai as a professional. So, yeah, not amazing. But Rory's biggest contribution to the week really was to try and make the case for Muirfield returning to the Open Rota. I don't really know how this came up, but Rory was asked about his thoughts on where the Open's going to go in 2028, and he lobbied pretty hard on behalf of Muirfield, said it's a great golf course and so on and so forth. It has been since 2013 that Muirfield last hosted the Open. Patrick Reed, Phil Mickelson, another complex character, won the fifth of his 6 majors on that occasion. And as I look back now, I mean, we've had 6 UK Prime Ministers since then. Funnily enough, Scotty Scheffler was still in high school last time the Open was played at Muirfield. What do you think, Lewis? Would you be in favour of seeing Muirfield host an Open again?
Of course, yeah. I've not played the golf course, but if Rory says it's one of the best in the UK, then I totally believe him. So from that point
I can
of view,
confirm.
Yes, I thought you would. As soon as I said that, I saw your eyes light up. Yeah, of course. And from a selfish point of view, like more Opens in Scotland's got to be a good thing. So yeah, I would love to see it back there, but there's clearly reasons that it's not gone since 2013.
Many reasons.
Yeah.
And to be honest, the whole membership thing that's ancient history now.
Yeah.
That is water well under the bridge. I think the single biggest issue that Muirfield's got is the commercial viability of an Open there. You go back to 13, 142,000 people attended across the week. Every year since 2022, there's been more than 250,000 people at every Open. So, 22, 23, 24, 25, and it'll be the same again this year, I'm quite sure, at Birkdale. That's deliberate. I mean, the RNA have had a very aggressive marketing strategy around the Open. They've introduced a ballot to create whether it's an illusion or not, but to create a sense of urgency and scarcity for tickets to go there. And it's worked. You know, people are showing up in bigger numbers than ever have to go to the Open. But again, you go back to 13, 142,000. That's like, you need to find another 100,000 from somewhere. And I was there. I remember the conditions. They were perfect. It was a scorching hot week. Funnily enough, the RNA used that to explain the reason why some people might not have shown up. It's like, it's just too hot.
Too nice.
And,
Too nice.
And the Ashes, huge in Scotland, by the way, the
massive,
Ashes.
yeah.
Massive.
Can't get enough of
And
it.
a British winner of the Tour de France.
Right.
All of those things were reasons why people didn't go to the 2013 Open at Muirfield, apparently. It was, I think 20,000 less people attended in 13 than the previous time it was at Muirfield in 2002. So why is that a problem? Well, the RNA, as we know, has responsibility for the growth of the game and the development of the game in every country around the world, with the exception of the USA and Mexico. USGA looks after those. RNA looks after everything else, from Scotland to Germany to France to Cape Verde to Curacao to all the other little nations that are in the World Cup for the first time this year.
Yeah, funny that.
But the RNA has to fund their programs, their schemes, their efforts to keep people playing golf and introduce people to golf. So the RNA needs to get its money from somewhere. Now, yes, it has partners and sponsors and so on, but it needs its events to be a commercial hit.
Yeah.
The Home Internationals isn't going to give them the money they need. No. The Amateur isn't going to give them the money they need. The Jacques Leclerc certainly isn't going to give them the money. They get that from the Open.
Yeah.
So they need an Open to make as much money as possible in order for them to continue to do the job they're doing. Now, I might be wrong on this. It's a theory. I'm probably going to get angry emails from people at the RNA over this, but I feel like the reason the grandstands at the Open aren't bigger, because I think they could be, is because sitting customer isn't a spending customer.
Mm-hmm.
Like those grandstands around 18, for example, at any Open, I think they could put an extra couple of rows on all of them, I'm quite sure. But it's much better to have people walking around, going into the tented village, buying some drinks, buying some food, as opposed to just plonking their backsides down and watching golf all day long.
Yep.
So again, I might be wrong. It's just a theory. But the whole point is
theory,
the Open needs to make a ton of money for the R&A. Muirfield, they haven't figured out how to connect, and this is the weirdest part, East Lothian, Scotland's Gulf Coast.
It's the easiest place to get
You would
to for a
think-
lot of people.
And you would think that there was demand, but I think it was Martin Slumbers, shortly before he left office as chief executive of the R&A, said, how do we make a Muirfield Open, Edinburgh's Open?
Mm.
They haven't figured that part out. So, yeah, the membership stuff, people will say, oh, it's because they were men only for so long. Yeah, that's all done and dusted.
Yeah.
I think the bigger reason or the bigger factor is a commercial factor.
Yeah. So why try and understand this? Because if you've been to Opens at Muirfield, it's not a case that there's not capacity on the golf course for these spectators to be there.
It's not that
Why,
there's not
why are
capacity.
people not going in the same numbers?
I think there's a number of reasons, Lewis. One, I mean, it's not the biggest bit of property in the world, albeit they do have scope to put in a second course if they want, but I don't think that's, a serviceable part of the property in the sense that spectators can walk through it. I think it's just an overgrown part. So I might be wrong in that bit, but it's not the biggest piece of land.
Mm-hmm.
There is enough room to get people around,
Yeah.
but it's the getting in and out from, off that main road in, North Berwick and Gullen. It's not the greatest infrastructurally.
Okay.
Plus, if you're in Edinburgh, well, you've got the Open at St Andrews just the other side of the bridge, once every 5 years it would work out at. You then got the Scottish Open at the Renaissance. By the way, that's another problem.
Yes.
Yeah.
How are you going to have a Scottish Open at Renaissance one week and the Open at Muirfield the next? They literally are backdoor.
You need
onto
to
each
move
other.
it.
Exactly. And what's just happened with the Scottish Open?
Yeah.
Renaissance has penned a new deal until 2030,
Well,
is it?
Genesis, anywhere 2030.
Yeah.
But
I think,
it's not going to move from the Renaissance before 2030, realistically, is it?
I mean, it might to accommodate a Muirfield Open,
Possibly.
but a lot of things have to happen.
Mm-hmm.
It certainly isn't the greatest infrastructurally. It's also not the worst.
No.
But there's a lot of things about Muirfield and the Open that just don't quite work. It's 90% of the way there for all of these things. The R&A needs some conviction that it's 100% of the way there.
Yep.
That's why it goes back. It's not going back to St Andrews all the time because it's just a nice thing to do. It's the home of golf. It's going back because it makes them a ton of money.
Yeah.
Well, St Andrews is
1,000 people.
That's not the biggest property. Like, for trying to get round there, if you're a spectator, it's not the
Suppose the
easiest
distance
thing.
is you've got the town.
Yeah, true. But still, walking the golf course when there's that many people on it is not easy when you're outside the ropes. So I can't imagine it's any worse at Muirfield in that people don't want to go for that reason.
I've
It's
been
bizarre.
to one Open at Muirfield, and I've been to at least one Open at all the venues on the rotor right now. For me, having played most of the courses as well, Muirfield is not the best course. It's certainly in the top 2 or 3. I mean, it's a phenomenal golf course. Always identifies great champions. I'd like to think it will get a shot. I don't really think it will be 28. I can't see them going from St Andrews one year to Muirfield just hopping the water the next. I think they're going back to the same audience 2 years in the spin, give or take.
Mm-hmm.
But I hope it goes back there soon because I really like it there.
Yeah, would love to watch it there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
We shall see.
Right. Asked and answered before we go to the commercial break this week. Yeah, this is a good one. I had to refresh my memory just looking at it. If the answer is October 15th, 2035, what is the question? Gents, you have a wee think about that. There are some answers from our followers on social media. Remember, at The Bunkered Pod on X and facebook.com/The Bunkered Podcast. James Tracy, when will Scotty Scheffler next miss a cut? October 25th?
October 15th.
October 15th, 2035. That'll be when he next misses. I think there's a good chance.
What event could he be playing then? The Dunhill?
Genesis Scottish Open.
Yeah, since it's been moved to accommodate.
By the way, just before I read out the rest,
Yeah.
James Tracy, I have an irrational mistrust of people who've got 2 first names, and I'm sorry, Lewis.
Yeah,
Fraser.
you should be. Nothing wrong with that.
Like Craig David, Hugh Grant, David Cameron, I think that's justified.
Yeah.
Ricky Martin. There's just
Why is
something
he
about the
getting
name.
dragged into this?
If you've got two first names, but one of them's
Something.
pretending to be a surname, I think that's wrong. Worse
Yeah.
yet is when you get the surname and the forename mixed up.
Well,
So,
this is true. I get
perfect
Fraser
example.
a lot.
perfect example of that, though. Keegan Bradley. Bradley Keegan is the right way around.
Yeah.
That's so true. Yeah,
Keegan
I thought of that.
Fraser Lewis actually sounds like a good name, to be fair.
Thanks.
Fraser Lewis.
Yeah, I'll think about it.
Should we
Might
just,
change.
just call him Fraser from now on?
Been called worse things.
Yeah, Fraser.
Anyway, sorry about that.
That's all right. It's
A
fine.
little tangent.
Yeah, no,
Alan Fairweather, if the answer is October 15th, 2035, Alan, when will Michael finally shut up about playing Augusta? Listen, you keep bringing it up.
Yeah,
Okay.
I know. You need to stop this.
I'm not
But
responsible
no, that's
for
not definitely not the answer.
it. That day will never come.
Yes,
Just so you know. Kevin McHugh, what is the date that Hatton and Ram admit they got it wrong, pay their fines and rejoin the PGA? I suspect that'll happen this year.
Yeah, hopefully.
I would hope.
I
Yeah.
hope so.
Oh, there's... it's quite an abusive one this week. Craig Meikle, what is the date that Michael finally gets a hole-in-one? Again, that day will never come. I don't imagine.
God, you're getting it quite thick here, aren't you?
Chris Ditchfield, when will the PGA Live deal eventually be put to bed?
The merger.
That's
The merger.
That happened a long time ago. That deal will never happen. Oh, Jesus God. Daniel Staunton. What date will Michael assume the role of Gary Player as his impression evolves? October 15, 2035. I look forward to that. Gary would have been good on the Traitors.
Oh God,
Gary
I haven't
Player
spoken
was
about the
better.
trade. Have you watched it, James? Have you been watching it? You've been.
I've not
Well-
watched. It's finished, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay, so I've not been able to watch it because I was out in Orlando, but
So we can't.
I watched the third to last, or the second to last one. I'm kind of like halfway through it, so I've not watched the finale yet.
Who
but
do you
it-
think's going to win, James?
If Charlotte manages to win, I'd be
Are you watching the same season? It's just been.
James, that was last year.
what?
There's no Charlotte. That was last year.
Who's Charlotte?
I don't know.
Charlotte was last year.
No, sorry. What's her name? The
Where's she from?
Ireland.
Rachel.
Rachel. Where's Charlotte?
I don't know.
Who's that?
I don't know.
Yeah, Rachel, or maybe Jade.
All right. Okay.
Rachel or Jade. Okay.
I would
You will
say
find
would
out
win.
soon.
Yeah.
I know.
It won't be Gary Player.
Or Charlotte.
or Gary Player.
Or Charlotte.
Turning over the slate. Well, this time I definitely voted for Jack. He's been a Troider all his days. No, none of those answers are correct. Lewis, what have you got for
Oh,
me?
I forgot
If
what
the answer is
question was.
October
and it's
15,
fine.
2035, what is the question?
Is it on what date did I think the 2023 Open Championship would finish at any point during that week when Ryan
was on-
Harman was leading by
Oh,
30
God.
shots?
Yeah, that was a criminal week. The weather
That was
didn't help.
the weather really didn't help. Yeah, there was no talking about no jeopardy. And
No.
Patrick Reed earlier, Brian was leading by about 8 to the whole round.
And 2 weeks in a row that Brian Harman has got it tight.
Yeah.
Wrong answer. James.
Is it when Lewis will actually be the longest in the office and finally be able to take the longest drive chain off me?
Now, this,
yeah.
for the benefit of people listening, and I'm sure if you're watching on YouTube, you'll see this. James, hold that up for the camera, would you?
There you
James
go.
picked this up at the PGA show. It is what looks like a bike chain attached to...
That's the weight of a bike chain, I tell
the
you that.
blingiest, longest drive thing. Honestly, this... If Kanye West played golf, he would wear this.
Yeah, yeah.
It is something else, James.
I was wearing it around my neck for a little bit around the PJ show after I took that picture, and I'm not going to lie, my neck started to hurt a little bit. It was so heavy. But yeah, Lewis, that could be yours in
I don't want it.
2035.
Keep it, mate. It's fine.
Short-
Yeah,
in the
your
office.
technology keeps advancing already.
Yeah, exactly.
Need all this.
No, you're all wrong. In actual fact, I will tell you what the answer is. In the second part of the show, where, as I say, we will be discussing divots. Should you get free relief or not? Spoiler, yes, you should. We'll discuss that in more detail. Part 2 coming right up.
Do you want an easy way to book tea times in Spain, Portugal and Italy? If yes, then On Tea is your answer. OnTea.com is a reliable and easy to use site for tea time bookings. There are 3 reasons why you should use On Tea. 1. You can cancel your tee time up to 48 hours before teeing off, free of charge. 2. You have the payment option Book Now, Pay Later available. 3. On Tee guarantees the lowest online price. Go to ontee.com today and discover 1,000 bookable courses. Use the code BUNKERED26 during checkout to get a discount on your purchase. Valid throughout 2026.
Part 2 of this week's Bunkered podcast. It's Michael, James and Lewis all with you. Before the break, asked and answered. If the answer is October 15th, 2035, what is the question, gentlemen? The question is, what is the earliest date that Scottie Scheffler can overtake Tiger Woods for most weeks as world number 1? That is still the best part of a decade away.
Yep.
Assuming he doesn't give it up. Assuming he doesn't get overtaken. Which, by the way, it looks fairly unlikely he'll be overtaken.
Not anytime soon.
Not anytime soon. But yeah, October 15th, 2035, I will be eligible for the senior tour.
Right, okay.
And I'll leave it
Say
at
no
that.
more. That's fine. James, you won't be far off the senior tour at that.
Oi, that's harsh.
He's not wrong, though.
He'll be a four-time world long drive champion.
Yeah,
by
at
then.
least
Damn right.
4. Yeah.
Yeah.
The following
that's
year,
what-
probably eligible for the senior tour.
Yeah. And then win it there as well.
Little side note there, Scottie Scheffler obviously won the American Express last night, becoming just the third player to pass $100 million in career earnings on the PGA Tour.
That's insane.
He is at, what is it now, 101 million. Rory McIlroy got past that mark last year at the Houston Open. 107 million Rory's on just now, and they're both chasing Tiger Woods, who's on 122. I shared that on social media, and honestly, the abuse I got was unbelievable.
What are people saying about that? It's not your fault.
It's like, have you never heard of inflation?
Oh, shut up.
Have you never heard of just shutting up and having a good time with it? It's just a social post.
Aye.
If you don't like it, you can just scroll past it.
Your fault. You're not in charge of the economy, as far as I know. Not I know of.
Yet.
Yet.
Not yet.
Yeah, maybe.
Right, gentlemen, I want to talk divots
Here we go.
because, yes, that's right, strap in, buckle up.
I'm excited for this.
I'm excited to find out where you're at. I mean, I think
Right.
I know where you're at,
Yeah, you do.
Lewis.
Yeah, it's not
But
changed.
I have no idea where you're at, James. So this has all come about, this divot chat, because a video resurfaced over the weekend of John Ram. He's with the guys from Good Golf, and they ask him, if you could change any rule in golf, what would it be? And you know what? I'm actually not sure I know what the rule is around this, but essentially he's saying, if I could change anything, I'd like to get free relief from divots. And he made, might I add, a very compelling case, saying that, you know, you shouldn't be punished for putting the ball where you're supposed to. Golf might be the only sport that punishes you for doing what you're supposed to do in that regard. And as he points out, and he's probably more used to this on tour because better players, he's like, you can get some really big, deep divots, and suddenly a 60-yard shot, your ball's down in that, and it becomes a much harder shot through no fault of your own. So,
What are your
let's see
thoughts,
where we're
Michael?
at.
Yeah, go on.
No. Lewis,
All
you're
right,
forgetting. I host the show.
Right, okay, that's fine.
So,
Wow. The claws are out, guys.
honestly, I'm ready for it.
girls.
I'm ready for it.
All right.
Lewis, where's your head at on this? Free relief, yes or no?
If you're playing for fun and you're out with your mates, do whatever you want. I don't care. Pick the ball up, chuck it on the green from 100 yards for all I care. If you're in a tournament, yeah, do what you like. If you're playing, if it makes you enjoy your day out on the golf course and your ball's in a divot, kick it to the side. Great. Be my guest.
Okay.
If you're playing with a scorecard in your pocket or a tournament or the Masters, then play the ball as it lies. This is the first, and I know you're sighing in and out, whatever. This is the first rule in the rule book, basically, before like or after etiquette stuff. That
Etiquette's not in the rule book, but carry on.
yeah, right, okay, code of conduct, whatever it is.
Yes.
Then play the ball as it lies where you find it. Now, sometimes you're going to get bad breaks in golf. One of them might be that your ball, you hit a brilliant drive down the middle and it doesn't go in a nice lie on the fairway. Tough. Golf's not meant to be fair, is it? Golf's supposed to be unfair.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
No, golf's not supposed to be unfair.
It is.
It's not supposed to be unfair.
Yeah, in the elements.
Neither-
We're talking about this. We're talking about this with
Nonsense.
Justin Rose
Golf
in the
is
simulator,
supposed to
right?
be unfair. That's how to sell it to the masses.
Yeah, I'm not trying to sell it to the masses.
Absolute. Havers, Lewis.
No, it isn't.
It's not meant to be either fair nor unfair. The idea that it's supposed to be unfair inherently.
Well, it is.
Nonsense.
Whether you like it or not, it's not.
So you're saying it's an unfair game? I'm saying it's not meant to.
It's not equitable at all. You can get good breaks from terrible shots, right? I've had them. James has had them. Where you've had them as well. Hit it into the trees and it bounces off a badger in the trees and he headers it back into the fairway. Great, lucky you. I've had lots of times where I've hit nice drives down the fairway and it ends up in someone's divot. Annoying, boohoo. But you know what I do? I get on with it. It's a shot that I can
tears
play.
down your face.
Yeah, tears down my face, whatever.
You're a good martyr, Lewis.
Yes,
I'll give you
exactly.
that. Yeah.
I am. Look, John Ram said it in this video. He said the sticking point to this is another thing.
Oh, bring it on.
Yeah, the
Bring
sticking point to
it
this is that sometimes you're going to have a really big divot where you see this is clearly a divot. I want to move it out of this, right? Do what you want. Sometimes you'll get a tiny little patch that someone hit out of 6 months ago and it's a little depression in the fairway and someone wants relief from that. That shouldn't be happening. Other times you're going to get, and I've seen it, where people have been on the golf course and they think that something is a divot that isn't. It's just, I don't know, like a rabbit's come along and stood on it and the grass has gone down slightly. And they say, I'm in a divot
so it's
here.
plugged,
By the way,
and then
No,
you
no,
get-
no,
you
it's
get-
not plugged.
Course are you
Plug's
playing where there's
different.
all this wildlife? Badgers heading balls back into play, rabbits kicking up things that look like divot marks. God almighty. Where are you playing your golf?
Yeah.
I mean, honestly,
of
it would have gone in
places.
had the aardvark not walked in
Yeah,
front of it and stuck its
pelicans.
toenail on it.
Uh-huh.
Animals of farthing wood.
Look,
Beatrix Potter Country Club. Jesus Christ, Lewis.
Peter Rabbit stood on my ball.
honestly.
Mr. McGregor, I need a rules call over here.
That's amazing. Right, you've made a very good point.
Thank
I'm
you.
I'm going to have to.
Jemima Puddle.
Sorry, I'm going to have to ask James. Where do you
Yeah, I'm
stand on this?
genuinely
'Cause
interested.
I have
Yeah.
no idea. I'm pretty sure you have no idea. What
No,
yeah.
I do not. No.
I think the first thing that's a lot to unpack from Lewis.
You're surrounded
from
by
Fraser
those,
Lewis over there. I think the fact that you said golf is meant to be like penalising is wild. Because golf,
He said it's meant to be unfair.
Well, it's meant to be unfair.
It's not meant to be fair, that's for sure.
Well,
It's different. Totally different.
but at the same time, if you hit a shot right down the middle of the fairway like you're supposed to do, and all of a sudden you're in like a World War II trench that someone's like dug like the group in front, you shouldn't get penalised to do that, because that shot that you have from like 60, 70 yards, where the ball in theory is below the surface, is, if that's a wet fairway and it's plugged, that's embedded, like you should be able to get relief from that, in my opinion. But then my other argument is, if you're then getting relief from, a ball that's finished in a divot, which I think you should, as well.
I didn't see that coming, I'll be honest.
I think you should also be getting relief from when you've got mud on your ball on the fairway too.
So you just want to play preferred lies all the time?
I think in a professional tournament play and in competition play, yeah, I think
That's insane, by the way. Like, that's mad. I don't even need to defend why that's mad, because listeners will know that playing preferred lies. Can you imagine playing preferred
Go on
lies
then.
in
No,
the
make,
final?
make the case just in case for those who
Because,
don't.
like I say, you should be playing the ball as you find it on the golf course. Outside conditions are part of the game. If you hit it, you shouldn't have a perfect lie every single time, no matter how good of a shot you hit. You're talking about hitting a lovely drive down the fairway. I've topped drives 40 yards down the fairway and got perfect lies. The quality of the shot that you've hit before doesn't determine how good a lie you should be getting. Whether it's in a trench, like you say, 60 yards before it, tough, deal with it.
But
You get bad stuff happening to you in the golf course all the time. See, right, try to think of an example where this has happened recently. But someone's hit an approach shot and it's a beautiful shot and it's the perfect number and it bounces off the pin and goes backwards into, think Tiger at the Masters on 15, he's in contention, hits a wedge shot, bounces, hits the pin, goes back into the water. Bad break, terrible. But he's hit a brilliant shot. Do you think he should be able to repay that for no penalty?
No, that's just tough shit for hitting
Yeah,
the pin.
exactly. So it's tough. It's tough shit, as you say, when you hit a good drive and it
But
goes in a divot.
You are missing something though.
Go on.
That pin is meant to be there.
Okay.
A divot isn't.
No, I agree. The divot's not like
It's not.
you should replace your divots, of course.
Like a
Because this is. I'll tell you where I'm at if that's okay. I mean,
Yeah, go on.
You made a very good case, and I think you'll agree. I sat quietly for the most part.
For some of it, yeah.
So yeah, unfair thing is absolute bobbins, but never mind. I agree with John Ram when he says that is the definition of ground under repair. He said there are very few sports where you do what you're supposed to do and get punished. Yeah. To me, that's the nail being hit smack bang in the head. And it's usually around about this time that someone's going to pipe up and say, oh, well, tell you what, define a divot. And that makes me laugh, Lewis, because I think every single person who's ever played golf, when they hear the word divot, has a picture in their head of what that is. But those who don't want free relief, when the subject of free relief comes up, suddenly start pretending they have no idea what a divot is and isn't. It's that way where you would go up and they'll say, oh, that's too bad, you've rolled into a divot. And you'll go, oh, right, do I get free relief? How do you know it's a divot, though? Because you just said. Because you know what it is. Mm-hmm. You know what a divot is. Equally, you know what a divot isn't. So let's not play silly buggers.
Yeah.
Dead simple. One more thing.
Go on.
The point, I don't think you made this point here, to be fair to you, but it is something that comes up when this argument arises, and people say, well, you kind of did. You say it's open to interpretation, and people will start to abuse that. Ever since the gentlemen golfers of Edinburgh drew up the first formal rules of the game in Leith in 1744, golf has been predominantly self-regulating. We've entrusted golfers to play by the rules. We haven't sent out referees. We said, you'll self-officiate. And now, because of this very specific thing, suddenly people's ability to self-regulate, self-officiate, now it's a concern. I just don't buy that at all. It's almost like, you're going to let slip the cheating dogs of war. I just don't see it happening at all. So, listen, my solution to this, I think, is pretty simple. Mm-hmm. I'm not calling for free relief from divots anywhere in the golf course. I'm calling for free relief from, should really say divot marks, because somewhere somebody right now is going, a divot's the thing that comes out.
Not the point.
Again, you know what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. If you're on the fairway and you find your ball in a divot, Mark, I think you should be allowed to move the ball back onto grass. Basically, if there is mud, visible mud underneath your ball, or to put it another way, not grass underneath your ball in the fairway, you should be able to move it onto grass. If you're in the rough, the semi-rough, the thick rough, the woods, all amongst the trees, no relief. Yeah. If there's a divot in there and you find it, you deserve it because you're not meant to hit your ball into the rough.
Fairway only.
The whole point is fairway. So fairway only. Exactly that, James.
Yeah.
It just seems so simple because I don't think anyone should be punished for another golfer's laziness. That is not called protecting the field. That is the opposite of protecting the field. If somebody playing ahead of me doesn't have the decency or the common courtesy to replace a divot mark, why should I, as the player who's doing all the right things, have to suffer because of them? That's just and you talk about fair and unfair. That is the absolute epitome of unfair. And if you're good with that, fine. Yeah. But I just think that is fundamentally at odds with sport. Somebody shouldn't be gaining an advantage through their own laziness or lack of respect. That is the antithesis of good sport. So that's what I am.
Okay, fair enough. Look, we're going to disagree on this, and that's all right.
So James, you're the one that's on the fence.
No, I'm not on the fence at all.
James thinks it should be preferred wise all the time.
Yeah. I think if you land if your ball lands in the fairway and it's like you said in a divot, here's where it gets a little bit. I still think though, if it's in a divot, an old divot which hasn't been repaired with the grass back in its place, I think because it's not below the surface level, I think you should still play it because it's still going to be a good lie. If it's an old divot that hasn't been repaired and it's clearly, like you said, mud under the ball.
Yeah, if any part of the ball is below the surface of the ground.
I think you should be able to take relief from that.
There is a funny one. I'm sure you've probably used it, Lewis, or at least you've heard it.
Go on.
which is, so what, do I have to throw my ball back into the woods if I get a lucky bounce off a tree? And it bounces? I mean, again, that's just so... I feel like it's intellectually disingenuous to even start that chat. Because do you know what?
Not suggesting
the trees are meant to be there.
Yeah.
Like the architect of the course has probably said, whether or not the trees are fully grown, it's like, I want trees.
Mm-hmm.
There is not a golf course designer in history that has drawn up a fairway and said, grass everywhere except for there, there, and there. Stick in some divots.
I've got a good point you just made there. Is like with this, the way the golf course is made, and like you said, like the designer's like, I want trees here, 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 and here. You hit your ball in there, fit into the trees. They're meant to be there. Fair enough. Now, if something that's not meant to be there, like a grandstand or something like that, then you get relief. It's the same with a divot.
Mm-hmm.
It's not meant to be there. It's meant to be
I mean,
fairway.
that's temporary movable object, TMO.
Yeah.
I mean, that gets its own, what do you call it?
Stick.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
But it's a good point because it's not part of the design of the golf course.
Yeah.
So there's no, you know what? Tell you what, David McLay Kidd.
DIO as well.
David McLay Kidd or Tom Fazio wants to get in touch and correct me and say, actually, when I'm designing a golf course, I am planning for there to be divots
I'm just
in the
taking
fairway,
a wedge round, just
then
hacking.
by all
just
means, throw that one back at me. But I don't think that's the case.
Yeah.
No, look, it's fine. I get it. The other thing, like I've started with this argument, is that if you're playing for fun and you're not playing competitive golf, then fine, do whatever you want. Like I don't care. Also, like another part is that it doesn't actually happen that often. Like I can't remember the last time. I can remember the last time it happened to me, and it was like 2 years ago. And I remember it because it was an important round. It was down the 18th. It was really annoying. But I just went up and thought, right, how do I actually play this shot? It's a skill to be able to play the shot.
Oh, of course it is.
Yeah.
But you shouldn't have to play it.
No, it's unlucky, but you get bad breaks and good breaks in golf. And I had probably good breaks in that round as well that I probably didn't deserve to get. Don't always deserve to get good stuff on the golf course. Teaches you that as well. It's like good mental side of things. I've seen people absolutely lose the plot when the ball's in a divot. Like, fuck, this is ridiculous. Like, what am I meant to do with this? And then they go knife it into a bush over the back of the green. It's about testing. And James is coming round to this. I can see it. He's coming round to my argument. His wife's saying, "Yeah."
I'm not even close.
All right, okay, well, that's fine.
I'm just winding. I'm just winding you up. I'm just nodding my head.
Okay,
I'm just like poking the Jemima
Look,
puddles
as
off
a
over
general rule, I'm not wanting to give people like more relief in the golf course and to try and like make golf easier for people.
Your ball
like,
lands in a sprinkler head. Do you get free relief?
Yeah.
Why?
Because you're probably going to break your wrist if you try and play it from a bit of plastic on. Or you're going to like break the sprinkler head.
Just like a fairway, though,
'Cause
the divot's not meant to be there.
Yeah, but what do you want people like going around like breaking sprinkler heads because the ball's in it?
No, I want them to be able to move it.
Move it.
Right.
I think you get free relief from that.
Yeah,
which
well, I
is what
agree
you
with
get
that.
relief
But the
Yeah,
logic's the same. I mean,
It's
it's not about breaking wrists and not breaking wrists. It's like that's not a part of the golf course. It was never intended
Yeah,
to
but a
be.
divot is because on the golf course.
No, it's not.
But it is. But
No,
but if it's on the fairway, it's on the golf
It's a
course.
part of the ground that was never supposed to be exposed and see the light of day and form part of the
The
course.
fairway is the part of the hole which is meant to give you the best possible lie to hit your shot into the green.
100%. That's why you're meant to.
Yeah,
find
but
it.
sometimes you don't get good lies. It's tough, isn't it? It's a shame.
Well, then that's why you hit your ball into the bunker or the rough or in the trees to say hello to the animals of Farthing Wood.
Yeah, I do that. Yeah.
Oh, we're not going to find
No,
consensus.
we're
But
not.
that's the fun of it. That is the fun of it. So listen, let us know your thoughts. Get in touch at The Bunkered Pod on X, facebook.com/The Bunkered Podcast, or equally send us a letter, letters@bunkered.co.uk. Let us know your thoughts. You can either agree with Lewis and be wrong, or agree with me and James and be right. It's entirely up to you. Right, listen, let's move on to something that is much more open and shut. Divots is open and shut, by the way, James, just so you know. I'm just hearing him.
Yeah.
Much more open and shut. The Dubai Desert Classic, Podder of Merit. Lewis, you went with Rory McIlroy last week. Like I said earlier,
What a
not an
waste of a
amazing
pick.
week for Rory. Tied 33rd.
Yes.
I went with Tyrrell Hatton, the defending champion, also tied 33rd. Not a great week for Tyrrell. And James, from the Virgin Atlantic, like somewhere over the Atlantic Ocean, you chose Shane Lowry, who finished in the tie for 26th. You get the 2 points, my man. And
Yes.
might I just suggest you may have unlocked the secret to Podder of Merit, which is to just pick the first name that comes into your mind when you're on a plane.
Well, the funny thing was, I was actually... I think it was my. Yeah, I think I just finished the round at Cabot Citrus Farms, or was kind of like walking back from getting my pass. I was like, I don't know who played last week. Oh, Shane Lowry like ballsed up, but actually played quite well. I was like, Shane Lowry, fine. And then I was
That's exactly how we thought it.
Yeah,
went,
that's
to be
pretty
fair.
much. We knew that. Yeah.
and then I was like, what else did I say? I turned around and was like, oh, second pick, Lewis's mate, the Rasmus Nørgaard Peterson. And then I was like, someone left field if someone takes him or you take him this week. And then the Spanish young lad,
Angliora.
So yeah, I'll take the 2 points and run.
Yes, well done.
Well done.
Unfortunately for you, Lewis, despite both our players finishing in the tie for 33rd, I get the point because of Tyrrell Hatton's better final round.
Count back. That's another thing that we can argue about. Like
Next
card
week.
count backs, that should never happen. Honestly. Well, maybe in the monthly medal you don't really have it, but if you can play a playoff, play a playoff.
I didn't know Lewis had such strong views. I invited him onto the podcast. Even I brought him on a year ago. I'm like, that'll be easy.
Yeah.
Straightforward chat from Lewis. Apparently not.
No.
Oh, sorry, Lewis, I
Sorry.
get the point. So
Yeah,
you have
no.
used Rory McIlroy and
Not
got
to good
nothing.
effect.
That's
No.
not how you play the game.
No, it
By the
isn't.
way, I should point out Steve the ref has been in touch. Evidently, once again, I got the scores wrong last week. Lewis,
wow.
you and I were both on 5 and
Right.
James was on 2 points. So as it
Oh.
stands,
Yeah.
and if I've got this wrong,
Steve, let us know.
Steve will be listening.
as it stands, I'm on 6 points. Lewis, you are on 5. And James, you are now on 4. There is absolutely nothing between us all. So this week, the Farmers Insurance Open at Torrey Pines. Brooks Koepka making his PGA Tour return, no less. And Mr. Tate, you have the honour. Who are you choosing?
He's making his PGA Tour debut, and that is big hitter, European Marco Penge.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, why?
I was looking at the course and the length of some of the holes. Massive. There's a par 4 out there. It's 504 yards. There's a lot of par 4s which are 460, 470. It's a course that needs someone that is a good driver of the ball, a long driver of the ball, and I think this could be a great course for Marco Penge to kind of.
He's just changed his equipment, hasn't he?
Yeah, PXG.
From
Mizuno, yeah.
Surprised by that?
Quite surprised, purely because he had such an incredible season on the DP World Tour. My kind of inkling is I think because PXG are based in America and he's going to be playing a lot more golf out there, I think he might just get better service on the tour from the tour trucks as well. I mean, the equipment, don't get me wrong, is incredible. It's very good. I highly rate the new Lightning drivers that have come out. And the PXG, the irons are fantastic as well. It is surprising, but I can see why he would make quite an easy transition into those clubs.
And fingers crossed for you
Yep.
from this week, ideally. So my turn, and I, just for the sheer lols of it, I'm going to take Brooks Koepka.
Of course.
Why
Yeah,
not?
go on.
I want a reason to really be invested in him this week, so no idea what we're going to see.
Yeah,
Like, genuinely
it is
not a
intriguing.
clue. His form last year wasn't great. There were mitigating circumstances for that, as we're finding out. But he'll know, and I think revel in the fact that all eyes will be on him this week.
Yeah, I agree.
Brooks likes a big occasion. That's why he's played so well in majors, more so than PGA Tour events, regular PGA Tour events over the years. I think this week will have a bit of a major championship feel to him because of the attention, because of the expectation, I guess, the morbid fascination of will he do well or not, and I think he'll rise to it. So, yeah, Brooks for me.
Nice.
That leaves you, Mr. Fraser.
It does.
Which
So
divot dodging maniac are you chasing?
brilliant. So last week I went with Rory because, biggest
Yeah.
obvious choice there. So I thought I'd go back to off the wall kind of picks that I'd done that served me well in previous.
Here we
Adrian
go.
series
Dumont
of-
de Chassis, probably.
No, not quite. I've gone with Michael Brennan. So young, up and coming
What?
player.
Really?
Yeah. So he won
Interesting.
when he turned pro. He turned pro a few years back, but his first start in the PGA Tour as a pro, he won, which was towards the end of last season, which is impressive. Clearly a fearless guy.
Yeah.
And as James alludes to, Michael is a very long hitter, so this should
Those words
suit him.
have never been said
Yeah,
before.
I know, shock, yeah. Yeah, no. Michael Brennan is a very long hitter.
Makes more
and
sense.
as we've spoken about with people like Marco Penge, actually, I've said that I think he'll have a really good year. someone who hits the ball as far as him, Michael, I think in his last 2 starts this year has averaged 325 yards off the tee, which is quite a long way. So
It's a
if
decent
he
poke.
can match the rest of his game up to that, then I think he will do all right. He shot, I was looking how he got on at the Amex, and he shot 14 under, and I thought, oh, that's good. He's going in the right direction. That wasn't even in the top 50, which
Amex
goes
was
to
mental,
show
wasn't it?
the
I think
the
after the
score.
first round, 10 under was leading.
Yeah,
Just,
it's ridiculous. Well, Blades
Brown
Brown shot
shot 12 under, didn't he?
like the most disappointing 60 ever. Like, he parred the last 3 holes. I think one of them was a par 5. So yeah, go with Michael Brennan. So hopefully he can produce.
So
some
Michael
good
Brennan
for
for you, Brooks Koepka for me, and James, you are going with Marco Penge.
Yes.
The Farmers Insurance Open taking place this week at Torrey Pines. Right, we're going to finish up with a little game, and I have concocted this game for you two. It's a game of play your grams right.
Yeah.
Now, you
Right.
guys, when you got the notes, were looking at it going, what's this? Play your grams right.
I have no idea.
And you missed something because, James, I think you were saying, is it to do with weights? Like how much does something weigh versus something else? There's an apostrophe in front of grams. I've abbreviated the word Instagram.
That's why. Right.
Ah.
So this is very simple. Have you guys ever seen Play Your Cards Right back in the
Yeah.
day?
Well, last
Yeah.
week so we were going to talk about quizzes, but then clearly I've been taken off quizmaster duties after last week's debacle. Which,
Rightly so.
Yeah, rightly
Again, sorry, Trevor.
Sorry, Trevor. And you've said, I asked what the quiz was going to be, and you just said Bruce Forsyth, and that
Yeah.
was that.
Yep.
And I was thinking, what on earth are we going to be like dancing on the table or something? No one wants to see that. But yeah, so I've no idea what this is going to be.
So it's very simple. If you've seen Play Your Cards Right, you'll be familiar that it's a game of higher or lower.
Yes.
Brucey used to turn one card and you had to guess what the next card was.
Yeah.
So if he turned 3 of diamonds, for example,
Yeah.
and you said lower, 1, why are you saying lower? to that?
Wild.
Yeah. So you basically had to get it right all the way through. And if you got to the end,
Okay.
I think you won something like a shed.
Like bullseye.
Yeah. See, when you lost, speedboat. When you
Speedboat.
win, enjoy your new
Here's
shed.
what you could have won.
You guys aren't getting prizes for
Right,
this, by the
no,
way. This is
okay.
just for fun.
Yeah.
But it's very simple. I'm going to tell you a golfer's name, and you have to tell me higher or lower in terms of their Instagram following.
Okay.
So I'll give you a banker to start. I'll give you a player.
Yeah.
And each of you is going to get a turn. I've got 2 rounds. One for you, James, one for you, Lewis.
Okay.
Right.
And I'll give you someone to start with, and you have to tell me higher or lower Instagram following than the previous golfer. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So if you were to say like
He's gonna-
James Tate first of all,
And then Lewis Fraser second.
so I would say lower, and I would be correct because I'm next and James has got more Instagram followers.
Exactly
than me.
that.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Yeah,
James,
I'm on
you got
board.
it?
Yes.
Right. You're up first, Mr. Tate.
Oh shit.
Sit back.
And I'm going to start you off. You're starting with Tiger Woods.
Okay.
Lexi Thompson.
Lower.
Correct. Tiger has 3.7 million Instagram followers. Lexi, 594,000, I would have thought.
That's
more.
quite a lot though.
Rory McIlroy.
Higher.
Correct. 3.7 million. Jason Day, higher or lower than Rory McIlroy?
Lower.
Correct. 796. Charlie Hull, higher or
Higher.
lower than Jason Day?
Higher.
Correct, but not by much.
Oh really?
820,000 beats 796.
close.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ricky Fowler, higher or lower than Charlie Hull? See, you're sitting thinking,
I'm
oh,
gonna
this is
say
dead
I'm
easy.
gonna say higher.
Ricky Fowler, higher than Charlie Hull?
Yeah.
Correct. 2 million.
Yeah.
Wow.
2 million for the Rickster. A lot of people out there like orange. Justin Thomas, higher or lower
Lower.
than Ricky Fowler? Are you sure?
Yeah.
1.8 million for Justin Thomas.
That's a lot
You're
higher
trying to
than
lead
what-
him off the scent as well,
That's-
Michael. Are you sure?
That's a lot higher than what I was expecting though.
So here we go. Min Woo Lee, higher or lower than Justin Thomas? You are
Lower.
3 away from winning.
Oh no.
Lower.
Lower. Min Woo Lee, lower than Justin Thomas. You're right. 933,000.
This is where it's gonna get hard though.
Adam Scott,
Ah.
higher or lower than his fellow Australian Min Woo Lee? The wheels are turning. He's thinking hard.
Has Adam Scott got 1 million followers?
Adam extraordinarily handsome man, Scott. I'm not saying Minwoo's not, by the way, but
No.
I feel like
one of them's a dreamboat, the other one's Minwoo Lee. So.
I know, but one of them's a social media presence, and the other one isn't. So I'm gonna.
Why do you think I designed the game this way?
I'm gonna say lower.
Adam Scott lower than Minwoo Lee.
Yeah.
Bearing in mind he's been around a lot longer.
Yeah.
Masters champion.
Yeah.
World number one.
Mm-hmm.
You are right. 428 beats 933. Last up, you get this right. Somehow you've won the game.
I'm not even getting a look in here.
You're getting a shot next.
Yeah, I know, but I can't win.
Victor Hovland, higher or lower
Higher.
than Adam Scott?
Higher.
Are you
Yeah.
absolutely sure? Oh, James, man. Right at the death. You are correct.
Yeah.
792,000 beats 428. Well done, James.
That's brilliant.
Here, stick that on.
Yeah, quality.
Right, Lewis, now you see how the game's played.
Yeah, absolute textbook
You
stuff
only have
there.
to beat a 100% record.
Yeah, fantastic.
Right.
If I like say the exact numbers here all the way through, no, I'm not going to try and do that. There's no way of beating that.
So, start you off.
Yeah.
Same number. James got 10. Got 9 correct. Obviously, the first one's the first one.
Yeah.
So, your first one, starting you off with Xander Schauffele.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. I feel okay.
I feel like this could be hard.
Xander Schauffele. Scotty Scheffler, higher or lower Instagram following than Xander Schauffele?
This is immediately more difficult. What are you? Is this because of the divots thing?
This is
Have you-
this is a setup.
Scotty Scheffler's got to be higher.
Final answer?
Yes. Don't tell me. No way.
Correct.
thank
Scotty
God.
Scheffler. So Xander Schauffele, 567,000. Scotty Scheffler, 1.8 million.
Right. Okay. Good.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Happy Gilmore too
Yes,
has got him.
probably helped
got
him a bit.
most of them.
Yeah.
Yep. And all the numerous golf tournaments. But yeah.
Yes. Jordan Spieth, higher or lower than Scotty Scheffler?
Well, man.
Oh.
Spieth's been around for a long time. He's popular. A lot of people on Instagram like Jordan Spieth. PGA Tour admins always going for a Spieth post to get some numbers. Despite that, I think it'll be lower. I don't think he's got 2 million followers. I'm going lower for Jordan Spieth.
Jordan Spieth? Wrong, Lewis.
No,
do you want to know why?
no, I don't. But I'm going to hear it anyway.
1.9 million.
Oh, come on. This is ridiculous. Giving him Tiger and then Lexi Thompson.
I would have gone higher purely because
Yeah,
of the
of
spring
course.
break stuff with that he did
Exactly that.
This is ridiculous.
with JT and Smiley.
Do you want to carry on? Just see how far you would. Like, just
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'll see if I can get 9
nice
out of
and
10.
quick.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Lydia
Since-
Ko,
since you
higher or
went to
lower
all
than
the-
Jordan Spieth?
Lower.
Yes, 324,000. Paige Spiranak, higher or lower than
A lot
Lydia
higher.
Ko?
Higher.
4 million.
Damn.
Billy Horschel, higher or lower? I
Lower.
see what I've done now.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
put
yeah,
the
yeah.
difficult ones at the start. Lower for Billy Horschel.
Billy Horschel.
please.
Tommy Fleetwood, higher or lower than Billy Horschel?
How many did Billy have?
I'm not telling you. Because you've lost the game now, so
Alright,
it doesn't
fair
matter.
enough.
I would say higher.
Just pure instinct at this point.
You've already proved your worth. at
You've
this game.
already lost. so-
Fleetwood higher. than Horschel.
Correct. John Ram, higher or lower than Tommy Fleetwood?
Higher again.
No.
Ah, God. Rubbish at this.
Got 2 wrong. Nelly Corda, higher or lower than John Ram?
Higher.
Yes, 1.2 million for Nelly beats
Okay.
John Ram's 803,000. And finally,
Yep.
Brooks Koepka, higher or lower than Nelly Corda?
Topical. Got to be lower. Don't feel like
I'd say-
Brooks
I
is
would-
really an Instagram kind of guy.
Where would you go, James?
I would go higher.
And James, you would be right. You, by
my
the way,
God.
you've just found your calling.
Unbelievable.
I'm
You
good
could
at
have
that.
all
Yeah.
20 of them.
Yeah.
Next week.
Yeah, next week. Yeah.
Yeah,
Leave me out
Brooks
of this. by
Koepka,
the way.
1.3 million beats Nelly Corda's 1.2.
That's
Spend
good on
too
him.
much time on Instagram.
You do,
Yeah,
yeah.
Uh-huh.
Studying quite clearly.
you were talking about like weights and stuff. You knew exactly what this was. That's what you were doing in that flight back
he
from
was throwing you
Florida.
off, yeah.
Yeah, going through all the. You've got a list of all the golfers there.
Wait, do you have Instagram?
Flip.
No, you
Ah,
don't.
yeah,
Nah,
open up
nah,
on his
it's just as
laptop.
well.
It's off now.
Well,
So,
well done, James.
Well done, James.
Thank you.
You're a
Thank you
winner.
very much.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
And you win a cuddly toy.
Yes.
Yes. Well done. Hard luck, Lewis. Better luck next time.
thought
It's
that was
just
a
been
decent
wall-to-wall
effort.
defeats for you
Yeah,
today.
it's
It's
not-
been play your grams right, lost at that. Divots, lost at that.
Order of merit.
Or yeah, lost at that. You'll be better for the
Yeah,
experience.
tough, really
Yeah.
tough. Scene this week in the pod, hasn't it?
Oh, it's all right, mate. Better
Listen,
luck
guys,
next
thank
week.
you very much for your time. Thank you to
Thank
you
you.
for watching, listening, etc. Get in touch. Let us know your thoughts on this week's episode. Let us know your thoughts on anything that we've discussed. just get in touch is the point. letters@bunkered.co.uk. And one more time, you can follow us on X at the Bunkered Pod and on Facebook, facebook.com/bunkered online. If you've enjoyed what you've heard, then please give us a little review and a 5-star rating wherever you get your podcasts. And if you're listening on Spotify, remember you can now leave comments on the episode and we will go in and respond to them there as well. So yeah, leave us a comment on Spotify and one of us will get back to you. Probably not Lewis.
Nah.
Anyway.
Is that because I'm getting kicked off after this?
He'll be in a divot.
Right, gentlemen, thanks for your time. Thank you to you for watching and listening. We'll be back again this time next week. Until then, enjoy your golf. Bye-bye for now.